This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine, Todd. Actually, it had to do more with his entire family. Todd's dad pictured himself to be the outdoors type, like he was Paul Bunyan, only not so giant. He always told stories about what a good fisherman he was and how he once caught this 20-pound bass or that 4-foot-long bluefish or a trout that was so big it didn't fit in his trunk. But everyone knew he was exaggerating, which was the nice family way of saying their dad was a big fat liar. Everybody thought that except for Tanya. You see, when she wasn't playing with her doll collection, she would tell her dad she wanted to be a great fisherman. Okay, fisher person. He was so proud that he had this fatherly role model influence on his kid that he decided it was time to introduce his family to the great outdoors. The worst part is, Todd's dad insisted the family was going to rough it, with one exception. He let Tanya bring her doll case, which made Todd learn the advantages of sucking up. Todd's dad rented a cabin way out in the middle of nowhere. It was supposed to have the best fishing in the world. Todd wondered why any creature, even a fish, would come to a place like this. There was no electricity, no running water, except through the roof when it rained, and if you had to go to the bathroom, there wasn't one. There was an outhouse. Todd and his mom hated the cabin, couldn't stand the bugs. They were totally grossed out by the outhouse, and fetching water from a well is kind of cute in fairy tales. In real life, let's just say Todd would rather die from thirst. But Tanya loved the whole adventure, especially the fishing. She toddled off down the path with her runny nose and her toy fishing rod and reel, like she really expected to catch something. Her dad was bursting with pride. Todd played with his computer game in the van. His mom spent all of her time complaining. But Todd's dad was determined to have fun, whether anyone liked it or not. At the end of the day, Tanya came back with a huge big mouth bass dangling from her hook. The fish was practically as big as she was. Dad came back with nothing. He acted like he was thrilled with his daughter's success. But were his compliments a little flat? His pride a little touched with jealousy? Of course not. Tanya was his offspring. If she could catch such a big fish, fine. Todd's dad prepared the fish, his mom handled the barbecue, and the bass was enjoyed by all. Even Todd, who was not a big fish lover, kinda liked it. Tanya gave her boring account of her catch and described her fishing hole as the bestest fishing hole ever. The next morning, Todd's dad wished his daughter good luck, but secretly, he was bummed out. Not because he was jealous, oh no, but he had a reputation to keep up. Sure, it was a reputation he made with his own big fish stories, but he wasn't about to be outfished by his very own daughter. Okay, so maybe when you think about it, the guy was jealous. He went up and down the river, tried here and there and everywhere, but he got nothing. Zip, zero, totally shut out. At the end of that day, Tanya toddled back home with another big fish on her line, even bigger than the one she caught the first day. They all sat around and enjoyed the fish. Tanya's dad was all full of compliments and praise for his little fisher person, but Todd could tell his dad wasn't as pleased as he looked. In fact, Todd thought his dad seemed to be a little jealous. Well, a little soon became a huge understatement. He was determined not to let his daughter show him up again. So the next day, when Tanya headed off to her bestest fishing hole, her dad followed her. He was pretty surprised when he realized he didn't have far to go. You see, Tanya headed to a little rundown shed behind the outhouse. Dad peeked in the window. There was Tanya pulling a big fish out of her doll case, which was filled with dry ice and fish. This was a true story. It happened to a friend of mine, Todd, and his sister Tanya, who grew up to become the owner of Tanya's Frozen Fish Stick Company.